This conference will now be recorded.
We have some great business partners, obviously, with the Economic Development Council. We have some great, I see Freedom Boat Club has logged in. We have Maverick, Shearwater, and some other businesses. You guys are going to get to learn about these businesses and the internships with the students. But to kick it off, I'd like to introduce Mr. Pete Tesch. He is the president of our Economic Development Council.
Good morning, and thank you so much, Alicia. And it's great to see you all here. And it's a beautiful day in St. Lucie County. And on behalf of the EDC, I'm Pete Tesch, and I'm president of the Economic Development Council. On my team is Jill Marassa, and she's the VP of Business Retention and Expansion. And she does a lot of stuff on technical training and workforce readiness, and particularly working with Alicia, with you all and our industry on the boot camps. Also joining me is Jen Dubé, and she's the technology platform guru that's making this all happen. But I want to welcome you to this very important event. We're very proud of St. Lucie Public Schools and all the great things that you are doing to promote a very effective academic and industry collaboration. Even with all the COVID craziness, our economy is very robust and diversified in certain sectors, primarily manufacturing, healthcare, skilled trades, and now that we're seeing growth in logistics and distribution as well. The EDC is about helping grow jobs in the community, and we're very proud to partner with key industry sectors in the marine industry. Alicia mentioned a couple of these great companies that are with us today. There's Shearwater Marine. I think Derecktor Shipyards is with us. Justin, did I see you out there? Don Spade, good to see you, sir. Looks like you're coming from the historic PPP Cobb building downtown, and Malibu Boats. So this is a very dynamic industry sector, marine manufacturing and marine services. In fact, we've had the fastest growing employment percentage-wise in manufacturing in the state. In the last recording from CareerSource Florida and CareerSource Research Coast. So the need for skilled talent is really critical. So if you think about it, you as career counselors and the CTE instructors, you're where the rubber hits the road with regard to students and telling them about these great career opportunities. It's just amazing. This isn't your grandfather's or my father's manufacturing marine industry. It's a whole total different labor landscape. So I'm going to conclude in just a second, because there's much more important people to tell you about much more important things. But it's my distinct pleasure to introduce my very good friend and colleague, Wayne Gent, the superintendent of schools for St. Lucie Public Schools. And Wayne's just done a phenomenal job with our public school system. And I know he can't do it alone, and he's got a great executive team. I see Helen Wild out there and Alicia, but he's got a great team along with the school board to really push our public schools to the next level, and he's already done that. When you look at the statistics about academic excellence, improvement in scores, as well as the graduation rate, along with the improvement of the individual schools, I can't tell you how important that is to the economic development process. And in the short time that I've lived in St. Lucie County, what a dramatic turnaround that has been with this very, very important asset, our young people, and making sure that they have a career pathway that provides sustainable jobs for them and their families and for the whole citizenship here. in St. Lucie County. So I'm getting a little long-winded here. I'm going to shut up. And Wayne, I'm going to give it over to you. And good morning, sir. And thank you so much for what you do for the community and the economy here.
Good morning, Pete, and thank you for the kind words. And it's a team effort, and I'm happy to be on here. And to my counselors and school staff, if I look a little dressed down, I am. As soon as I'm done here, I'm going to jump in my car and head up to Lakeland and watch Lincoln Park Academy's girls play at noon in the Final Four. And Coach Adams has been trying for 22 years to get to the Final Four. And so it's a great day. It's on the front page of the TC Palm. Before to my counselors, I just want to say this sincerely on behalf of myself, the school board members, our team over here. This has been, I don't know the adjective to use for the type of year it has been, but no one probably has done more than you all. And you know, our worlds have been turned upside down, and yet we've had remarkable successes and remarkable gains in spite of the pandemic and what's going on. And that can only be accomplished because of what you're doing. And I know it's been a double, triple load on all of us, and particularly the counselors. And I just want to say thank you. Sincere thanks for what you're doing. Spring break's just around the corner, so hang on, hold your breath. And then, you know, we'll be renewed, and when we'll do the final 9 weeks. And then hopefully in August, things are going to look a lot different. I do want to say one little quote to our folks too. I know this is different because we're doing it virtual, but it's a different year. And I got this from a school yesterday. Everybody knows I like John Maxwell, but he had a quote. He said, "We can make excuses or we can make changes, but we can't do both." And I just want to commend our team for making changes. We don't make excuses. We just get in there and do the work. And I just realized just what you've done for the counselors. And I know today, you know, is going to be a full day for you as well. But this is really, you know, developing economic vitality in our community. But just as important, it's transforming kids and their lives and giving them a future. And you've all done that. And without those relationships with the counselors, without that one-on-one, our graduation rate in our six comprehensive high schools is 98%. That doesn't happen by accident. And overall, it's over 93%. So I just want to thank the counselors for what you're doing to keep these kids motivated, especially this year, and then giving them a future where they can go, hopefully, stay right here in St. Lucie County and work in our workforce. And then to our Marine participants today, I heard the Freedom Boat Club's on here. Well, I bought a cobia that was made up in Maverick 3 years ago. So I don't need the Freedom Boat Club today, but I'll tell you what, I'd love to put all the counselors and everybody out there for this, because it's a beautiful day. And I'm sure we may have some people that skipped out early already in some of the places. But as far as working with our industry partners, I just want to say thank you. We've got our CTE programs. We're over there at St. Lucie West Centennial High School, and that program is expanding. And Pete, we want to be here to be able to pivot quickly to the needs of the industry, as well as the general needs of economics and industry in our community. And, you know, we're able to do that. So it's a fantastic partnership. And again, I just want to thank Pete, his team, Alicia for throwing this together as well, working with EDC, and for our business, the industry partners that are out there, Maverick, Freedom Boat Club, Shearwater, Derecktor Shipyard. We're here to serve you, to support you, to help you through your needs. So I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful day. I hope that Lincoln Park wins as well today. But you know, again, thanks for being here, counselors. Thanks for going the extra mile. And one of these days, we're going to get you all together in person, even if it's next year, and we're going to have a party and celebrate the successes we've had this year. All right, and we'll do it after hours. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank
Gent.
you, Wayne.
We also have Dr. Helen Wild. Dr. Wild, would you like to say a few words?
Absolutely. Thank you, Alicia. And thank you, Mr. Tesch and Mr. Gent. I really appreciate your words. And Mr. Gent always appreciates the work of our school counselors. And as a former school counselor, you know I do. And it is true, this year has been a heavier lift than I've ever had before, last year and this year. And you guys are just doing amazing work. And to take the time out today and to think about the future careers of our students, when you have so much else on your plate and continue to try to learn what's available right here in St. Lucie County is amazing, and we really appreciate you taking the time to do that today. I wasn't sure what the attendance would be like with everything on your plate, so I'm so pleased with that because we really are such an important part of economic development in St. Lucie County. I also want to recognize the great work of our CTE department. And it's not easy to put a brand new program into a school. It usually takes years to develop into what they've been able to do at Centennial so quickly. And I want to give a shout out to Mr. Fleming, the teacher at Centennial that does this marine program. And it's thriving so quickly. We've been able to get grants to support it. We were just awarded the grant to be able to do the pre-apprenticeship part along with 2 others on top of the one we already received. So we're really moving things forward in terms of work experience for our students and helping to contribute to workforce development. So I want to thank everyone who put this together and all of our business partners. And, we couldn't do this without you, and we hope that it's a 2-way partnership that we all appreciate. So thank you, Alicia. And I don't want to hold up your agenda. Thanks for giving me a moment to thank everyone.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it. And, just kind of going back to what Mr. Gent said and Dr. Wild, I mean, just the word was this time last year, we held a Marine roundtable and we were getting off and running. We had all these plans and I have to tell you, the word that Mr. Gent used at that roundtable was so monumental, the word pivot. So, obviously we've done the bus tours and a lot of you counselors have engaged. We also had our boot camp, and we've just been able to pivot to this platform. Again, from my team, I just want to thank them. On here, we have, Lanisha Robinson, Stephanie Wilhelm, we have Kieran Belgraves. He's a specialist who works very closely, and Chad Fleming, he's the instructor. We're going to talk a little bit. Jen, if you could put the slide up with the puzzle pieces, just so we could have the introduction into what we're doing today. You're also going to see that as a lot of you, if you have attended the bus tours in the past, you know that after this EDC bus tour, we traditionally start, this is our jump off point to go into our boot camp to start soliciting our students and signing them up and getting them involved. So we are going to be doing the boot camp this year. Last year with COVID being so fresh, we had to modify it. We know that there's a lot of students out there, seniors, we're hearing from it, they're interested in jobs, so on and so forth. So with that being said, we have our industry partners. We've been really working, pivoting to where we're doing the virtual field trips, and you guys have been phenomenal in regards to your participation and getting these students engaged. So we'll be sharing some information about that. That is to come after this meeting. I know some of you guys have been amazing. We've emailed out. You've already, I think we had about 20 to 25 seniors already signed up preliminary for the boot camp. And just so you can see, if you, Jen, can you go to the slide that has the Outboard Marine program information on there? I wanted to take a moment. This is not something we traditionally do, but as Dr. Wild mentioned, this program is over at St. Lucie West Centennial High School. Mr. Chad Fleming is the instructor there, and I'm glad to see Justin from Derecktor here. Justin, I know you came out with Jill Marassa. She's our vice president for the EDC a couple years ago, and the EDC, the Economic Development Council, kept telling us, hey, we need a marine program. And Jill came out, we campaigned we started with the freshman seminar students, the 9th graders. And my team worked very diligently. We brought a boat in and we set up, we thought, okay, we'll get a part-time teacher, we'll have 50 students enrolled. And within 2 days, I had Principal Popwell and just others reaching out saying, and parents reaching out, hey, I heard that you guys are gonna have a marine program. How do I get my students in there? So we were able to, the first year, the August previously, we had roughly 98 students in there. And now I believe we're up to like 150, 160 students. So just so you could see, when there's a need in the community, we have to pivot, we have to react. We have these students that are very talented, the businesses to fill the pipeline. And so Marine is going to be a huge component of our boot camp this year. And just so you could see, we offer ASC entry-level certifications. We're going to be doing an ABYC Marine Electrical Certification. This is also information for the businesses. And when we look at the curriculum, even though you see outboard marine, it's very important to understand the students are learning the basic HVAC skills, electrical skills, so on and so forth. So, you know, as counselors, sometimes we have those students, they're inquiring about different programs, or, you know, when parents are contacting you, this is some great information. So again, I don't want to hold this up anymore. I'm going to turn it over to Jill, and I just want to thank you guys for participating. At the close of today's session, we are going to be giving you guys some more information to look out for the boot camps for our next steps. Go ahead, Jill.
Good morning. Can you all hear me okay? Yes, good. It's so nice to see you all. This is, as you know, one of my favorite times of the year when we do our council tours. We are actually in our 5th year, and Cynthia Matthews, I think you were one of the first counselors I met many, many years ago when we started this process with Alicia and team. And so even though we can't get on the bus today and have pretzels and goldfish together, we will be enjoying a really fun virtual tour with our partners today. So I just want to let y'all know we did put this on our website, and the purpose for that was that you can continue to share with your students as you communicate with them, and they can also go home and maybe talk with their parents or guardians or adults that are in their household for further review. So everything here today is on our website. We'll follow up with that link and how to access it so that you can continue to use it in this journey. So we're real excited that we have some fantastic industry partners today. The goal of today's virtual tour was to focus on the marine industry. And one of the things about the marine industry is that it's very diverse, and there's different segments of the marine industry. So we tried to capture 4 different types of businesses that serve our community and our region. And we have 4 different presentations today, and you'll be able to learn through the leadership of the company about what they do, about their programs and services, the employment opportunities that are available. And with each segment, basically, we have either a video and or PowerPoint, and then we'll have some discussion about their workplace and the employment opportunities. And then we really would like this to be very engaging. We'd like you to ask those questions that may come about when you have students that are looking for a career pathway that may not be going off to college at this moment. That is particularly our target market for those students to be able to have something local and find a way to find something that they love to do and find their passion and build their career. So with that, I want to first introduce our slate of companies today. We have Angela Brandt here with us today for Maverick Boat Group. Maverick's been in St. Lucie County for, I think, 37 years, if not longer. And I'm sure you're all familiar with their boat brand, and they are a premier manufacturer in the recreational boating industry. We have Don and Ann Spaeth. I think they're both with us today, or I see Don, and they are with Freedom Boat Club over in Fort Pierce. And so they'll talk about the boat club dockhand positions and the work that they're doing up in the marine industry in the Fort Pierce area. And we have Shearwater Marine that has been in this region for years and years and years. Jim and Jed, I don't even know how many years, but different locations in both Martin and St. Lucie counties. And they'll talk about what they're doing here up in the north part of the county at Shearwater Marine. And then we have Justin Beard with Derecktor Fort Pierce, their longstanding history as a premier shipyard, and they can talk about what will be going on in our community at the new shipyard in Fort Pierce. So with that, I'd like to hand it over to Angie if she's here, and we can start off and learn about Maverick Boat Group today.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Angie, personnel manager here for Maverick Boat Group. I'll just give you a quick rundown of our story. We were established in '85. We purchased the Hughes mold in '89, and Scott Deal decided after some anglers and doing some fishing out in Texas, the Pathfinder needed to be developed. So we developed the Pathfinder, And in 2005, we acquired the Cobia brand. So we have a very diverse fleet of boats and different models. There's a ton of those as well. But we are definitely, the focus is as recreational fishermen's, and also more so we're really going into the family boating. It has really taken off. And we have been one of the very fortunate companies through this lovely pandemic that has continued to grow. And our last but not least, as of January 1st, we are, most of us here, a little bit sad to see Scott step aside, but we were purchased by Malibu Boats as of January 1st of this year. So that is where we stand right now as far as a company. Lots and lots of good things coming from Maverick. That's our brief story, and I'm not sure how much more I can add. I wanted to save some of our facility changes and things like that of what we're expecting a little bit later, as far as where our needs are going to be and where we're going to be growing within the next 12 months.
That's great, Angie. We do have a Maverick video of the facility and folks hard at work. So do you want to start with that, Angie? We can show the video and then we can just have an open dialogue about manufacturing in the marine industry. And just so you all know, the links where you see the company is for the website. So you can always go to the website with students and show them the different type of job opportunities that are there.
That would be great. Like I said, I have more to add after, I think I'll put a little bit more to it after they see the video.
Okay. And Kent over at Maverick Boat Group made this video for you all. So he's very excited about it and he does a fantastic job. So that's their website and we will, click there we go.
I'm JJ, group leader over in Fusion here at Maverick Boat Group. Looking forward to having you guys join the team. I'm going to show you a little bit of what we do here.
This is a bit of our group leader animation. Come and check what we do. Hope you enjoy my team.
Hi, I'm Tim Kutu, team leader self-assembly, where we deck boats. This is
Chief Luna, help me deck on. We were just decking a 22-foot CC Cobia. Hey, come down to map and check us out.
Scott. I'm the group leader here at Kentucky Run and Maverick Boat Group. We're going to tell you a little bit about what we do here in Kentucky Run, and we hope you can join the team.
Hey guys, this is JJ here, the group leader at Maverick here in Small Part Repair. Just showing you guys a little bit of what we do, see if you guys are willing to join the team.
guys. This is Angie with the HR office at Maverick Boat Group. I hope you enjoyed your time going through the different departments that we have here at Maverick and all of the different processes. I look forward to seeing you guys. Have any questions, please come see me.
So we hope you enjoyed that video. Before I hand it over to Angie, that was the making of Mr. Gent's copia. No, I'm just kidding. But that's really what it looks like. If he was here, he would have enjoyed that video. The start of the manufacturing, why we did it in this order, was you need a boat for all of the segments of the marine industry. So we really wanted you to see that. I know some of you have been to Maverick. But there's just really an employment opportunity for everybody. So with that, Angie, I'll hand it over to you, and then hopefully we'll have some good Q&A before we go to the next segment. So thanks for joining us, Angie.
No problem. I was wondering why I got to go first. No, I'm just kidding. Well, I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. The reason I was a little hesitant when I first started out is because I really wanted everyone to see, one, the massive diversity that Maverick has to offer, and especially for the group that you guys are targeting. So what you just video or watched on the video, that was only half of our facility, and our goal, or our new goal, is by this time next year that will be doubled in size, which will be an opening for a potential 100 to 150 new positions. We currently are at a deficit of about 60 positions just to meet our current order status. So we have a big problem, but it's a good problem on our hands. So as you saw in so many different departments, the diversity that I mentioned is, for prime example is, and I know that some of you have probably heard me say this, we're looking for someone with our 3 A's, and that's attitude, aptitude, and attendance. We can train just about every single position that you witnessed today. You know, for an example, just having the art skill set, somebody who maybe is just artistic, good with their hands, may end up being a great repair person, an eye for detail, but never touched a tool or done a repair before. We have also, which we did not get in, into the video because we were trying to focus on the position so that you guys could visualize when I say infusion versus LAMO. And just a few of those positions, which would be the assembly, which you saw there with I think it was Lance having fun with the leftover putty, the cut and grind, the repair, lamination, having our open layup, which was Lapita, and then our closed layup. So we have so many different divisions inside those departments. There's foam and paint. Again, I go back to the art thing. Somebody may be have no background whatsoever in gel coating, but yet, they have eye for detail. They're good with their hands. We can train people like that. So it is a career. We really want this to be something that an employee can come in and become part of our team, grow with our company. One quick person that was in the video, Lapita, she's been with us, I think now going on 17 years, came in as first off, not speaking any English. So that was a feat in itself. But she has grown into one of our very higher up positions, which is a group leader. So there's just tremendous growth ahead of us. I'm super excited about it. We're expanding over here at our original plant. We're expanding definitely, like I said, at our second plant. So the opportunities are definitely there. And for the targets you guys are going to be working with, it would be a huge opportunity for them.
Thank you, Angie. Do we have any questions that we'd like to talk about with, well, you know what, Angie, maybe you could share, is there, on the website, are there open positions on the website for folks that they can take a look at it after this virtual tour to get a better sense of, you know, so we can see that if y'all want to look at that at another time.
Yes,
Yeah.
there, I leave those up there. I'll, you know, being honest, like I said, we really do a continuous thing. Sometimes we hire a lot more at one time versus another. It has been a little slow over the last holidays and stuff. And of course, with the pandemic, we've tried to alter our hiring process as far as making sure everybody stays safe and you know, doing it, you know, within limits. But we are continuously hiring, and those positions are up there. Everyone that I just mentioned, as I was also saying, for an example, they're very department vague. In other words, it may be assembly, but it may be in trim assembly. It may be sub-assembly that they interview for. We just put them under a kind of an umbrella for the big scheme of things. But once we bring them in, our typical situation is we actually take them out to the plant and that interview, or what we're specifically interviewing for. So if they come in and apply for an assembly, but we're specifically looking at this person for a sub-assembly position, we physically take them out there to the plant so they can kind of see what they're getting themselves into. So again, these positions listed aren't, you know, job type specific, but it allows us to have a lot more flexibility too when an individual is applying with us.
Great. And can you just help the group understand maybe a little bit of the wage base, the starting wage for an entry level, someone that's really green coming out of high school, that starts in this career pathway? And I know you have great benefits and the different type of shifts. Can you share a little bit about that?
Absolutely. We do have two different starting pays, and basically the only difference in that is because, as you can see, the lamination side of the world is a lot more in depth. In other words, they're messing with the wet resin, wet fiberglass, things like that. So anything that is what we consider a more skill-related position, and it doesn't mean that they're coming in with that skill, but we are starting our cut and grind, repair, and lamination start at $15 an hour, regardless of experience. Now, with that being said, if somebody does come to us and has that experience, that starting wage is definitely negotiable. We just do that on a case-by-case basis. Anything in assembly is a $14 an hour start. As far as our benefits, we have the paid vacations. We do have a match, 100% match to 3% of our 401k. We have full medical, dental, vision, and all of your ancillary insurances as far as accident, short-term disability, long-term disability, so on and so forth. There's several of those that we actually offer. We do still have our employee profit sharing. So every quarter, if we meet a profit, the employee then gets an additional bonus every 3 months. We do have, I don't know if I mentioned paid vacations, which after 1 year is a week, and it goes to 2, and then it goes to 3 almost. We do it by hours, so it's a little bit off, but fairly close to that. And again, most of our positions are definitely trainable type positions.
Fantastic.
One thing, let me just,
Go
one
ahead.
thing I didn't add, and I probably should have done that. We also have, which was not featured on that video, our what we call our Commodities Department. And we also have our full upholstery department here. So again, somebody interested in upholstery and sewing, we do that here on site. Our commodities, when I mention commodities, so we also have warehouse, but our commodities department is full, basically run all of our glass tables, our router tables. They put our kits together. So basically a kit goes to the line and has everything that boat possibly needs, and it follows that boat all the way around. So that person actually does that before the boat starts. So again, talking about a skill set, not only sewing skill set, but if you have somebody who's good with computers, because that kind of goes into the line of engineering when you start dealing with our CNC router machines. With our purchase, we are upgrading several of those machines and adding those machines to us because we're not able to, we're running them 24/7 right now to be able to keep up with our demand. But it's someone with a computer mindset. Those type of positions may interest them as well.
That's fantastic, Angie. Jen, do we have any questions in the chat? I just want to make sure. I don't know if I'm seeing the chat, and I just want to make sure if there's any questions we can answer them.
There are no questions at this time.
Great. So just for our counselors on.
Well, I'm available. Yeah.
Oh.
I'm sorry, Jill. Jill, a question came in. How can we get in touch with you? We can provide some contact information to everyone after the presentation.
So today's theme on the council.
Yes, absolutely. I was just.
Go ahead, Angie.
I was just gonna say that I'm available. My information's on there, but I'm available by phone here at Maverick. I'm available by email, and I am available, to have people come in. I just usually ask that, obviously to call ahead just because I am usually running between both plants, but I'm willing to meet, again, I know we're all dealing with a pandemic, but if you have a small group that would like to, meet with me, I'm open to that. We have a small area that we can accommodate, a small group, but, we, again, just trying to be mindful of everyone's safety. But I encourage anyone that you have contact with that would fall in these categories to apply. I would tell them to make sure on their reference that they reference maybe EDC or the school counselor. That kind of throws a flag to me because we do try to do a precedent. We're huge with referrals here, and we will, the best we can give options to at least get your individuals in for an interview. I tell that to a lot of people. I get contacted very often by family and friends. And I'm quick to say I won't, refer you, but I will definitely get you in the door for an interview, and then it's on you. The biggest advice I can give for young people is that a complete application. I run across that a lot. They don't have a work history, so they sometimes forget that they have other skill sets. So thorough application, making sure that, they fill out the questionnaire. If they're doing it online, there's the questionnaires on there. Here in the office, there's a front and back side, making sure that they're paying attention to that. Making sure that they're listing, like I said, any type of skill set they have, that type of thing. And, again, we realize, especially when they're younger in age and coming into us, we tend to try to kind of guide them through the interview process. But that is probably, if I'm going to give any advice where they probably be coached, is that interview process. They're so new to it that sometimes they don't know, they don't show up just, appropriately. And some of the questions, even being coached with some of the questions, I would be happy to share with you guys the questions that I ask in every interview to kind of give them a cheat sheet if that would help, because I would like to give them every advantage possible.
Angie, this is Alicia Seitz with St. Lucie Public Schools. I just put in the chat. I'm going to follow up with you afterwards. I like the fact that you are willing to meet with a small group of students. We've been actually doing this virtually, so I can get with our Marine teacher and just some of our other programs, and maybe we could set up something to where you can meet with those students.
Absolutely. The last thing I did want to add, Jill, and I know that you may have gotten wind of that, we've expanded we have a TWI training process. We actually have a manager that is doing these classes. So we're actually, when we're bringing on people now, they are going through 5S training, CATA training. We are trying to, during that first week or two with us and with those specialty trainers, find these weaknesses so that we can either put them back through this training process to ensure their success. So we are developing, even on this end, a more extensive training process for those coming in without any skill set, to give them that confidence out there on the floor. And again, we're working, as close as we can to move forward with the apprentice program. So we're definitely looking for, some young, excited people that want to make a career of this industry.
Thank you, Angie. They do have a tremendous training program internal at Maverick. So they do a great job in cross-training folks in the industry. One of the themes today, as you'll see throughout, is just think about, coming out of high school and being able to make $25,000 or $30,000 a year, green, being paid training, having the support of someone like Angie or Justin or Don and Jim, that you're going to hear from all of them today. They're so passionate about their industry, and to have that support for a young student to transition from academia into the workplace and still continue, growing and getting education along the way. And there's other opportunities for them to skill build and go through other parts of a business, whether they wanted to go in finance or something else. But I do recall that I made that coming out of high school, making that amount of money with paid time off and vacation and benefits and all that. So we really want this. This is not a job. Today's event is not about a job. It's really about, understanding the industry as a whole and how committed these folks are to their industry and to our talent pipeline coming out of the high school. So Angie, thank you as always. You're wonderful. You're a great partner. We will be having the boot camp this year, and we hope you'll participate. Maverick's been a huge supporter of the boot camp program. They've probably hired 10 to 15 kids through the program, young men and women that were as green as can be and gave us an opportunity and trusted us to bring some talent to them. And it's been working out a little bit, so we'll continue that journey. So thank you, Angie, and you're welcome to hang on. I know you've got 500 employees that you have to take care of, but we'll go to our next segment, and that is Freedom Boat Club. And I see Don with us today, Don Spade. And Don, the floor is all yours. So you tell us how you'd like us to navigate. We'll give you a few minutes to give a little background on Freedom Boat Club, and then we can go into your videos and go from there.
Okay, Jill, thank you. Can everybody hear me okay? Can you hear me good?
Yes, sir.
Two things I'd like to touch on before we get started real quick is we have 31 boats in our fleet, and half of our boats are cobias, which come from Maverick. And I believe we've got 8 more of them on order right now. They are just a phenomenal boat. The quality they put into that boat, the durability, it just fits the club so well. And getting back to Mr. Gent, I'd like to take him up on that opportunity for getting the facility, the school, the faculty out on some of our boats, people from the EDC. We've adopted an island on the ICW. Maybe we could get you all out on a boat and go have some lunch out on that island. Freedom Boat Club. Freedom Boat Club is, we have 256 locations worldwide. We're in United States, we're in France, and we're also in Canada. We're over 30 years old, so that makes us the world's oldest and largest membership boating club. About 2 years ago, we were purchased by Brunswick Boat Group. Brunswick includes Boston Whaler, Sea Ray, Bayliner, Cypress K. The parts division is Land and Sea, and also Mercury Racing, Mercury Marine, Mercury Outboard. So it's a huge company in the marine industry, and it's really done a lot for Freedom Boat Club in the last 2 years. We're growing in leaps and bounds with all of that. Freedom Boat Club here in Fort Pierce, we're coming up, probably just coming up on 5 years at this location here, beautiful downtown Fort Pierce, which we love it here. Ann and I are from New York. We came down one time and accidentally ran into Freedom Boat Club, didn't know what it was. And 9 months later, there we were opening up. We started out as members to Freedom Boat Club, saw there was an opening in Fort Pierce, and that's when 9 months later, we opened up the franchise here, and we're about 3 times the size that we thought we'd be at this time and period. So things have really been growing great down here. The chamber's been huge in helping us out. The EDC is phenomenal. Coming on board with St. Lucie School District's going to be great too. We're looking here to do whatever we can to help out in any way we can. And that's on our history.
Thank you, Don. Yeah, we'll play the video. Before we play the video, I do want to share, Don has offered to pilot, and COVID set this back a little bit, so we'll be looking to bring this forth in the 2021-22 school year to pilot a little internship program maybe 1 or 2 students that would be interested in going through a year-long part-time program as a dockhand and learning all about being a dockhand with the opportunity to gain some skill set during their school year and, you know, have a potential pathway with Freedom Boat Club upon graduation. So I apologize, COVID set us back this year and we weren't able to roll that out, but we are looking to do that in the new school year. So if you have some juniors that you know may only have 2 classes in their high school year, in their senior year, I should say, and they may have this interest through the Marine program or another program in the school district and may be a good fit. They can get a paid job internship to work around their education and also potentially have something upon graduation. So just wanted to put that out there. And with that, we have the videos, so you just let Jen know how you want to show them. We have them in different segments.
Don, is there a particular video you would like me to show first?
No, there was the kind of the marketing one that shows Fort Pierce and the Marine, if you want to show that one first. And then I think I labeled them 1, 2, 3, 4, but they can go in any sequence. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
So the dock tour is probably, the dock tour is the, yeah, they got uploaded a little backwards.
Got a little office here for the dock hands. They get out of the weather, the heat, the air conditioning inside. There would be a desk in there. So they can kind of work and do some of their items out there. I'm just going to walk the dock real quick here. Show you some of the boats that we've got inshore, offshore. This dock, we've got the other dock. We're up to 32 boats right now. We've got some boats going in and out. We take the boats out of the slip, bring them around to the outside so it's easy for the members to get in and out. And then we have some time, we'll clean them all up at the end of the day, fuel them up so they're ready to go. We've got one Sea Ray leaving right there. You can see it's a little bitty down here right now. Another pontoon getting ready to go out. At the end of the day, it can be a lot of boats coming in and out all at one time. But it's pretty cool. The members love it. We love it. If you have a passion for it, it's a great job just being on the water, helping people out. Got another boat coming in here, one of our Key West Bay boats. Some members had a great day fishing. We got Julius taking them in, checking them into the dock. We'll do a real quick check-in procedure with the hours, the fuel. Make sure everything's in good condition on the boat the way it left. And then we'll clean it, fuel, and get it ready to go back out for tomorrow. We've got a little office. So we're down here at the Fort Pierce City Marina down at the dock. We've got some members just came in from fishing. We've got our dock hand Jacob coming in the site there now. He's going to receive the boat in. We'll do a real quick check-in procedure. Get them off the boat safely. Check the boat out. Check the fuel, the hours. And then the members will be on their way. We take care of all the maintenance, cleaning, all the hassle out of boating. So we're just seeing a boat coming in here, checking in. We got some boats. They got them staged here at the floating dock. These members are going to get ready to go out. Got a beautiful day to go out today. So we've got a new member that just joined Alan, and that's Captain Mark. Captain Mark has been with us since day one. What we're going to do right now is anytime a member joins Freedom Boat Club, they have to go through the captain and the training and be signed off before they can go out on the boat. So it's usually the initial training is 2 hours of classroom and then 2 hours out on the boat. They're going to go over all the electronics on the boat. They'll get out in the river and they'll go over navigation. They'll go over a lot of safety. They'll go over using beaching, anchoring, using spring lines in the wind, and how all that goes. So they're headed out now. So it's pretty good. We have unlimited training. It's all, the training is included and it's unlimited. So if you're brand new to boating, you can train as many times as you want and as many different boats as you want. We've got pontoons, bay boats, center consoles, deck boats, bow riders, whatever fits your liking. And you can train on all those boats. And then once you do 8 trips, you can come back in for offshore training. And they go out there, they work over all the electronics on the boat, work in the inlet, and how to navigate the ocean out there. So they're getting ready to head out. They got a beautiful day here. And we're going to come up and we're going to head down to the yard. We've got a gantry here, so what we can do is we can pick the boats right up off of the trailers, put them up on stands. If we're going to do any kind of Joko, any kind of work underneath, we can perform everything in the house. So he's here. Looks like he's going to be changing some spark plugs. This is on a Mercury. We run Yamahas and Mercuries. We keep our boats for about 2 years. There's constant turnover. We're turning the boats, taking them out of the fleet within 2 years. On the Mercury side, we're a certified Mercury warranty dealer. So we can do all of our own work in-house. We have a Panasonic Tough Book. We can plug right into the pin connector on the boat. We can do, with the software, we can do diagnostics if there's a check engine light or if a boat's not running properly, we can do everything in-house. We have 32 boats right now, so you can imagine what kind of maintenance that is. We do spark plugs, lower units, fuel filters. We pretty much do timing belts, everything right in-house. So there's a lot of online training. Actually, maybe we'll let Jack tell us the kind of training that he's gone through to get to this point now.
Yeah, so basically we're doing online training through Whitaker University. You take a series of courses based on outboards or cruisers, specific things like the G3 software. And then from there you do some online classes, tests, and then in-person classes.
Some of those classes that you do online are live with another instructor, is that correct?
Yeah, so all the classes that we do are live with an instructor. They'll ask you questions throughout it, and then they do a summary at the end. And at the end of that, you would take a test.
There's testing. And then I believe also we can go away to schooling for about 5 to 7 days at a time, go to schooling and get hands-on work and all that too.
To finish your certification, you would then go to in-person classes, hands-on classes where you would actually work on these Mercury engines, and then from there you would get your technician certification.
Cool, that's awesome. Thank you very much, Jack. I appreciate your time.
Of course.
Thank you, Don. That was.
Yep.
Thank you so much. So just a little overview. Does anyone have any questions at this point? We could go through just a little bit of what type of training, when you were talking about the training, Don, maybe talk about, the company or the type of training. Does it align a little bit with what they're learning in the school curriculum that may be helpful for your industry?
Yes, I can talk about that. As far as employment, we break it down to 5 different positions. The main one is the dock hands, which is a very vital role. The dock hands are the face of our business. Once somebody joins, they don't see our salesperson, they don't see the owners too much anymore. It's the dock hands that they see day in and day out. So the dock hands, we need them for retention. We need the red carpet going out to the members. In order to keep the members, they need to be happy, and they need to be happy and out there making memories out on the boats. We can train you. We can train you to drive a boat, but we can't change who you are. So when we do our interview, we're pretty much trying to find out what your people's skills are. And I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. I've been doing this when I was in operations up in New York with an automotive dealership. When I do an interview, I'll get talking to them and say, oh yeah, do you have a driver's license? Do you have a car? And they say, oh yeah, what kind of car do you have? and then they'll say whatever it is, say it's a Honda. And then, so we go down, let's go down to the dock and I'll show you all the boats. And where's your car parked? Oh, let's just take a walk by your car. I'd love to see it. The reason I do that is I'll take a look at their car. I'll take a look at the inside of their car. If that car is neat and tidy, that person has a lot of pride in themselves, has a lot of pride in the work that they do. That's the type of person that we want to bring into Freedom Boat Club. If the car is a mess, that's probably how he's going to take care of our boats. We have 31, 32 boats in the fleet. Each dockhand takes ownership of 4 or 5 boats. So it's their responsibility to make sure everything is up to par with those boats kept up. So when the members go out the next time, they're happy with our facility. One thing I want to lead into with that is if you have a boating certificate, which I believe you get when you go through the school, when you come on board here, the training that we'll do also is on the water training, driving a boat. You'll go out with one of our captains. Before you can do the job completely, you have to be signed off by the captain. So you have to know how to drive a boat. And he's going to go on, you know, handling the boat, docking the boat, if it's windy, using a spring line on the boat. So it's a great opportunity to get out on the water, know the navigation, who has the right of way, and learn all this hands-on from one of our captains. One of our technicians that we have right now, his name is Bob. He was a BMW flat rate technician. He came on board with us and he does all our maintenance. He's a great guy. He's a dockhand, but he also handles all the maintenance and repairs on our facility. Like I was saying, being now that Brunswick is on board, we're Mercury. So we are a Mercury certified warranty dealer. So we cannot do somebody's boat from the outside. But all of our boats, if it has a problem, we can do all the warranty and everything in-house. We do everything in-house here, bottom painting, gel coat repair. We send our employees away to learn how to do gel coat repair. So we try to do everything in-house. Bob is phenomenal with kids. We've already talked to him. He would love to have some kids shadow him. So when he's doing work and maintenance on the boats, he'll walk you through, you ghost him, you shadow him. And he'll show you hands-on what it takes to do a lot of different types of work, do diagnostic repairs with our laptop and our software on these boats. The other position is a captain. Usually in the captain's position, we look for him to be a little bit more qualified and seasoned. You have to have a captain's license before you can do that. But all the members, when they join, everybody has to go through our captains, at least 2 hours of classroom and 2 hours out on the water. If you're brand new to boating, it's going to take more than that. Our training is all included and it's all unlimited. You can go train on one boat and the next day a different boat. You have to do 8 trips. Once you do 8 trips on a boat by yourself, you can come back in for the offshore training. And on the offshore, he'll go over work in the inlet, all the electronics we put on the boats, man overboard drills, anchoring out in the ocean. Our captains, what it takes to be a good captain is you need people skills there. But you have to be very thorough, going over everything in detail. When you're working with a new prospect, a new member out on the boat, you have to be very patient with them, guide them, lead them to what you're trying to get them to do, because it's all about being out on the water, being safe. The safety, or the more comfortable you feel driving the boat, the more you're going to use it and the happier everybody else is going to be. We have a sales position. That's a lot of calling people up. When prospects come in, a lead comes in, we call them up, we contact them. We inform them about what Freedom Boat Club's all about. We'll take them out on a boat, show them the waterways down here in Fort Pierce, how beautiful it is. That right there usually gets the emotions going and they're ready to sign once they see the beautiful water down here in Fort Pierce. We also have a bookkeeping position in-house. Does all the daily ins and outs of all the money going in and out, exchanging hands, keeps everything organizing there. Kids wouldn't be interested in that. That's a very boring job. Social media marketing director. We have that in-house. All of our online marketing, reservations that come through online is all handled in-house here. Angel does that right now, so he could also walk the students through a little bit of that and what it takes. He's very good at his job and what he does. So that's pretty much what the employment opportunities here are at Freedom Boat Club. What we look for when we're hiring somebody is pretty much what I said earlier. Somebody that's punctual, These dock hands, our boats go out sunrise to sunset, and they got to be here an hour before sunset, getting the boats ready. So they got to get up early in the morning when it's their shift. We have 6 dock hands right now. There's always at least 2 on at one time. Someone has a lot of pride in themselves because of the pride in their work, because that'll overflow into the business. We look for a person that wants to grow with the company. I mean, Ann and I started doing everything ourselves. I was the original dock hand, starting out when we only had 4 boats, and now we've grown up to 12 employees. So we're looking for somebody that is motivated and wants to grow with the company. And I'll throw out a really good example for that. Jack, who you saw in the video, started out as a dock hand. He was on board with us 6 or 8 months, and then he went to college. He has his, when he was down there, he had his captain's license. So when he was down there in school in Miami, he did fishing charters on his boats with his captain's license. And then before we graduated, he gave us a phone call and said, Don, I want to come back on board with Freedom Boat Club, but I want to be a leader in your business, and I want to help you out, and I want you to lean on me and put all the responsibilities on me. And things fell into place, and he's now our director of operations. So he handles everything on the operations side of the business. He's got a passion for it. What you need in this industry is you have to have the passion. If you have the passion for this, being out on a boat, helping people, we'll work with you in any way we can, because anything else we can train. The passion is there. That's pretty much what it takes to be a good person in this, a good employee and a good business owner. And that's pretty much all I've got. Like I said earlier, we do everything in-house. So we've got a lot of training. When you come on as a dock hand, you will ghost another dock hand. You're not like, you don't just get thrown into position. Jack will sit down with you, go over the employee manual. He'll introduce you to probably John, who's our dock master. You'll shadow him, find out what all the details of the job are and what we expect from you. One thing I'd like to say to the students is, with the St. Lucie School District, they run a phenomenal job in everything they do there. We're happy to be on board. The EDC is on board, and if the EDC is on board, they're going places, because what the EDC does is they've brought so much industry into Fort Pierce. Since we've been here in 5 years, I could go on and on and on what the EDC's done there. With having everybody on board, Shearwater, Derecktor, Maverick, there's so many people that these students can meet going through with this. So many doors that can open for you. I wish I had this when I was younger. To the students, this is phenomenal. There's places you can really go. Just listen, pay attention to what's going on, and you will go places. Thank you for your time. Is there any questions?
Yes, Don, there is a question. What is the pay for a dock hand?
A dock hand, it varies. It pretty much goes anywhere from $9 up to $14. And they do also receive some tips from the members also. So it can be pretty good, and it goes on up there from, like I said, you can go to dock hand, dock master, operations director, technician, and so on and so on.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, Don. It's fantastic. It's great that Freedom Boat Club is here. It's great that you're such a good partner. You're the first one to raise your hand in our round table last year and said, I love students. Let me know what we got to do. And so we actually, Chad and Don, have made a little video led by Alicia and team over in the school district. We're going to be building a marine series, a video series really geared towards students. That is a little exciting and kind of get them jazzed up about the marine industry so they can learn about it. And that first video will be coming out on Freedom Boat Club. So we appreciate you, Don. Again, if as you're working with your students this year and you're seeing those that are going into their senior year, if there's one or two that stand out that love to fish, I mean, you don't have to particularly be a boater. There's just folks that love the water, love to fish, love to boat. You'd be surprised how many kids actually have their boater's license and fishing license. Let us know. We'll connect you with Don, and we'd love to find one or two students to pilot that next year. It's a model that we'd like to do in other companies. Alicia and I are big on piloting to see if it works. And then if it works, then we bring it forward. So Don, thank you so much for joining us. Thanks for all the nice words about the EDC and our friends over at Maverick and the quality of their boats. I'm sure they love that shout out. So with that, we're going to go over to Shearwater Marine. Jim Dragseth, and I think Jed is online too. Shearwater has one of the most amazing marine histories in this region. They've just been around a really long time, and they're a very special company, both historically, and they're just real good people. They have a lot of different segments of their industry. So with that, Jim and Jed, welcome. I don't know who's going to lead, but I'll leave it open for you to give a little history and some information on your company, and we'll move forward.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. I'm Jim Dragseth, owner of Shearwater Marine FL Inc. I'm here with Mary Jackson and Jed Wood at our Fort Pierce location at Safe Harbor Harbortown Marina. We appreciate the opportunity to participate in the Economic Council of St. Lucie County's High School Council virtual tour. The EDC is charged with enhancing the economic vitality of St. Lucie County by bringing in new businesses and retaining existing businesses. It is important to realize that this comes with the intangible responsibility of training and placing a diversified workforce. Shearwater is a member of an employment opportunity that involves manufacturing, sales, plumbing, electrical, mechanical, design, hospitality, and many more disciplines called the marine industry. I have been involved for 50+ years. The industry remains vibrant and involved employment base on the Treasure Coast, which ultimately can turn into a very fulfilling career. Surewater Boatyard is located at Safe Harbor Harbortown Marina in Fort Pierce. We currently have 19 employees. Our boatyard services vessels from dinghies to 100+ foot yachts. Shearwater Marine and Industrial is our engine generator shop located in Stuart. We currently have 9 employees. We are a dealer for predominantly inboard engines under 800 horsepower and generators under 60 kW. The Shearwater Yard is a tenant of Safe Harbor Marina in Fort Pierce. There's slips, 323 slips rented monthly, seasonal, and transient to boaters. This requires the employment of dock hands, customer service, and administrative positions. Additional opportunities may be found in the boat hauling and storing activities. Other businesses at this site are canvas shop, restaurant, yacht brokerage, yacht detailing, and boat rentals. Marine employers are interested in entry-level individuals looking for general employment or a new career. Our customers have been successful in their lives and require the services of a conscientious and trained workforce. We have positions in part sales, diesel engine mechanic, electrician, carpenters, boatyard mechanic, service riders, administrative support, paint, and refinishing. Our company believes in product and trades training as one's career starts to become apparent. The entry-level employees needs to reflect the basic tenets of the employer's culture. The soft skills and maturation of high school education are critical. It seems in today's employment world, preschool through 12th grade does not prepare a student for entry employment. Responsibility, respect, communication, both verbal and written, promptness, honesty, patience, and how they relate to daily life are essential traits for us. We believe these are a benchmark for employment in our company. An entry-level employee that hears instruction but does not listen to the instructions will be a short-term employee. Employment in the marine community offers a diverse selection of opportunities. Few of these opportunities offer the satisfaction of being part of a community that opens the outdoors and waterfront to the boat building public. We are available for questions. We have a PowerPoint, Jill, and a video if we want to run those.
We will start with the video.
Okay.
And that's on the logo. Thank you, Jen.
Yep.
You may have heard the saying, a bad day on the water is better than a good day at work. Well, when you work on the water, surrounded by the delights of Florida's salt air, warm sun, and people who love their job, that phrase simply does not apply. This isn't your typical 9 to 5. It's not your average office cubicle. No 2 days look the same. And those are just the things that bring excitement to our staff here at Shearwater every workday. Located in Safe Harbor, Harbortown Marina, boating is one of the top leisure activities on the Treasure Coast. And because of that, there are a multitude of exciting careers right here in your backyard. Through hands-on experience, we get to continue a tradition that has been passed down from generation to generation. Shearwater Marine's traditions have survived recession and have been able to adapt and grow with new technology, providing opportunities for young marine techs and administrators. In our congressional district, which scales from Fort Pierce to Palm Beach, there are more than 46,000 registered boats. Within this area, marinas, boatyards, and other marine-related enterprises generate a total economic impact of over $1.3 billion. Among these stats, there are 7,055 jobs supported and 461 businesses supported. So why should you consider a career in the marine industry? Shearwater and Harbortown Marina are full of opportunities. Within the marina, available positions include boat builders, salespeople, and yacht brokers, transporters, yacht restorers, embassy sailmakers, managers, retail store personnel, riggers, and surveyors. Positions at Shearwater include marine mechanics, HVAC technicians, painters, service writers, administrators, retail parts personnel, and many more. Not only are they well-paid jobs and benefits, but it's also truly enjoyable to work in and around the boating lifestyle. With a strong work ethic, willingness to learn, and a desire to succeed, the marine industry can offer unlimited growth opportunities. Joining the workforce through the trade sector instead of a 4-year degree program is not a shortcut. It takes as much time and effort to master a skill and can be a rewarding career. The Shearwater family welcomes you to explore the exciting opportunities in career.
Jim, would you like to go over the PowerPoint?
Sure, we can run through that real quick, Jill.
Okay, sure. Just let Jen know where you want to, Jen will navigate that PowerPoint for you. Wow, that's a beautiful picture right there.
We can just start going through one, and this is the Harbortown location. And if anybody is interested, please give a call. We'd love to show off the location, what we do here, and what's involved in our operations. Next slide, please. This is one of the projects that we do work on, one of the larger projects. Whitaker Boat Works is my former company, family business down in Stuart. I was an owner and president of the company, and we split our company in August 1st, and Shearwater Marine FL Inc. is the new company located here in Fort Pierce, Harbortown, and also in Stuart with our engine generator shop. Next. This just shows a little bit of the activity that can go on in a boatyard. We're very fortunate in the Fort Pierce area to have a great inlet, great boating activities. There is no draft restrictions per se. In our business, we got a controlling depth of an inlet of 20+ feet, no overhead wires to get to our facility. Next, please. This shows our south location engine generator shop in the lower pictures. We do have a full complement of retail store on the front counter, oil filters, parts and pieces for the different product we represent. Top right picture just shows our little bit of our carpentry location up in Harbortown. Next, please. Retail store, engine generators, all the major makes, models, Onan, Northern Lights, Westerbeek, Fisher Panda, Kohler. On the generator side, Cummins, Yanmar, Lugger. Engine side, as you can see, we offers a pretty diverse sort of services. Next slide, please. Activities in a boatyard, bottom paint matching, fiberglass work. Next slide, please. Again, yard services that are offered. We also have a complement of mobile service that we go to boats to people's location. All these disciplines are available throughout our marine trades industry on the Treasure Coast and throughout the state. Next, please. Can't say enough about a beautiful picture, beautiful inlet, beautiful location. St. Lucie County offers a lot to the boating community. Next, please. A few of the products that we service, sell in our boatyard and at our Shearwater location. Next, please. Shows our crew. This is our yard crew up here at Harbortown. Knowledgeable, good group of people. We're very fortunate to have them. And I think that is the end of our program. Be glad to answer any questions.
Thank you, Jim. So you'll see on the website, the video, the PowerPoint is there. Access to their website is also there. Do we have any questions for Shearwater? Jim, maybe just, I know it's always something the young men and women ask, what are those career pathway pipelines? What is the starting wage and moving forward? That's something the young men and women always want to know. How much money am I going to make? Where do you start and go from there? We know you have a great benefits offering.
Entry level will be $12 to $15 an hour. Throughout our business and others locally, as you gain your experience, you can be a skilled tradesman in the $25, $30 an hour position, depending on the effort someone puts into it. It's like others have said, we can only offer a position. We can train, but the individual is the one that makes themselves successful.
That is true. Shearwater is another great company, and Jim, we've worked with their company on training and training grants. So again, students that have a passion or are looking for something to have a passion about, this is just another opportunity, another segment of the market that's very diverse, where folks can get in the door and just find a trade that they really like. Are there any questions, Jen, from the counselors or teachers or anyone on the virtual tour today?
There are no questions at this time in the chat room.
Excellent.
Hey, Jen, is there a way that you could show the slide, slide 18 from the PowerPoint sent to you?
There is no slide 18.
I emailed it. It's separate.
I don't have it. It was not emailed, therefore I can't pull it up.
Okay, that's okay. Thank you.
So with that, if you think of any questions, Jim is still here and team. They're a great team up there. If you ever want to go up there, it is a beautiful place to visit, and they really just do have a fantastic history. talking to Jim, he has so much to offer. His knowledge is really unbelievable. And he has had a passion. I know Jim for what, 12 years now. He's had a passion for many, many years in the region to really skill build through, the elementary to middle to high school. And I think little by little we're getting there. So I'm excited for him to be a partner, and we look forward to working together and finding him some talent as well in the region. And with that, we'll pivot over to Derecktor. We have our friend Justin Beard here, who has a little baby on the way. So we need to make sure that when she's of age, that we have marine training and that she'll stay in the region and work here. So with that, I'll hand it over to you, Justin. You can give a little background on Derecktor and then let us know if you want us to click on the PowerPoint and you can go through that.
Hey, good morning, Jill. Thanks for the intro. Yeah, Violeta, she's doing well. We're expecting her to arrive sometime here in the next 2 weeks. Ooh. So very, very exciting time. Not to mention the lift being assembled. So, I mean, you know me, I kind of like to put a lot of stuff on my plate and then figure out how to get it all done. So it's been a lot going on here at the yard. Good morning, everybody. My name's Justin Beard. I manage marketing over here at Derecktor Shipyards in Fort Pierce, as well as some of the other yards that we have, throughout the East Coast of the United States. Jen, if you want to just go ahead and dive into the PowerPoint. I know we're kind of running long on time, so I'll try to match my this is the website. So I guess it's the other link is the PowerPoint. Yeah. So yeah, here we go. This is us. We're Derecktor Shipyards. Again, my name is Justin Beard, and just move on to the next one. And we have quite a few slides, so I'm going to keep your finger busy there, Jen. This is a picture back of the day at our facility up in New York. This is where it all began. And it started in 1947 with Bob Derecktor and his vision and passion to build the best boats in the world, quite frankly. And over the years, it developed into, you could go on to the next slide. The yard has kind of morphed from this a wooden boat builder to getting into composites with some of the racing sailboats. Now it's more of a commercial yard. You can see it here. It's not real pretty down there by the water line. It's quite an old bulkhead and some of the infrastructure is aging, but I can assure you that it's all safe, suitable to do the kind of work we want to do. Up on the hard there, you've got a pilot boat that is in for service, and then you got some other commercial boats there. So the yard in New York is really focused on a lot of commercial work. We do service the number of fast ferries in the ferry fleet for New York Waterway and in New Jersey, up in the area where a lot of folks use those vessels to transit to work and for sightseeing and things of that nature. You can go on to the next slide. This is a picture of our crew there that works in the shop. We've got, we probably got about 40 people that work up in New York, give or take. There's some admin staff from, anywhere from the finance side to, we've got engineers up there. We've got shop foremen. You've got the ship fitters and the welders and the fabricators and the folks that work in the shop. And these guys are actually sitting in front of a boat that's being built. This was commissioned in 2019. It was for a company called Harbor Harvest. That's the Captain Ben Moore. It's a hybrid catamaran, so it runs on hybrid electric power. There's diesel generators that turn over to battery power once the battery bank is charged up. That's the third boat that we had built, and we're currently in development of the fourth hybrid catamaran. Next slide. This is the Captain Ben Moore, the boat that I was talking about with Harbor Harvest. That's shortly after it was commissioned, moored at the dock up there in New York. Next slide. This is our yard in Georgetown, Maine. This is Director Robin Hood. This yard is a full service boat yard. This is probably a lot like the Harbortown Marina in Shearwater over there at Safe Harbor, Harbor Cove. it's a full service marina shipyard where you can get boat work done. You could come in and stay for, either a few days or an extended period. This is a very popular yard during the summer because the weather in Maine, permits for getting out on the water and really enjoying outside activities and being close to it. As you can imagine, in the wintertime, it's not nearly as bustling as it is, but this is it's a very beautiful facility, and we actually have a full service foundry on site as well, where we make bronze hardware for sailboats. That's our Spartan Marine hardware line that we do there. Next slide. You can see we've got quite a bit of marina space and dockage there. There's a fuel dock. There's mooring balls out in the bay there in Riggs Cove, and then there's also you can actually rent a houseboat off Airbnb, and we've got 4 or 5 of those that are up for rent, and those are quite popular, where you actually are staying in the cove and you can take a short tender ride from the dock out to the boat, which seems to be extremely popular. Next slide. This is a power boat that we had in for service there. It's in one of the bays on the Hard and in Maine up at Robin Hood, and it's being painted and it's probably going to get a new bottom on next. Next slide. This is the Mary E. It's actually one of the oldest sailboats. It's a schooner. It's a Bath-built boat. Bath is a very historical area for boat building and sailboats, and this is actually it's in possession of the Maritime Museum up in Maine, and every year they bring it in for service at our yard in Maine at the Robin Hood facility. And so this is just a good picture of that boat. Next slide. This is our Dania Beach facility. This is probably circa, I want to say 1970, late 70s, where the yard was still sort of in its infancy and currently being developed. Back then, there were, this yard has really seen a lot of change since its inception. You can see that there are quite a few sailboats that are there for service and on the Hard, both in the water at the docks, and then there's a synchro lift type dock that's actually sort of in the middle, where you can see a large boat that's on rails. That lift was really the engine that drove this yard early on when Bob Derecktor started it. At the time, this is when the 12-meter sailboats were extremely popular for America's Cup, and competitive sailing was a little bit more mainstream here in the States. This yard was actually built to first provide as an outpost for those sailboats back in the 60s and 70s, while they were on their way to the islands for provisioning and service and things of that nature. Then, as the needs grew and South Florida sort of morphed into the yachting capital of the world that it's become today, this yard transitioned from sailboats to yachts and large yachts at that, and doing all sorts of service work and even building at this facility as well. Next slide. As you can see, this is it, present day. That lifting area, which is primarily in the same location as it was back in the day, has been exchanged for a 900-ton mobile boat hoist. And then off to the left there, you've got a 220-ton mobile boat hoist. Both these were built or manufactured in Italy by a company called Cimolai Technology. And Cimolai is actually the company that manufactured the 1,500-ton mobile boat hoist that we're currently assembling here in Fort Pierce. But with regard to this picture, you can see that a lot of those sailboats that were once tied to the docks have now been replaced with extremely large boats. And you can see in the back that we've got, this is the yard pretty much at full capacity on the Hard, as we like to say, when you haul a boat out of the water and you block it and you get it prepared for service. You can see that there's some of the boats are tinted. Some of the boats just have the scaffolding starting to go around them. We've got boats that are in those buildings and trades that are being done inside those buildings. Off in the distance, in the background there, kind of there to the left, is the parking lot for the facility, and you can see that it's quite full You know, because when you have a yard that is at full capacity like this, you've got upwards of 300 or more people that could be working in the yard at any given day. Next slide. So here you've got the 900-ton machine in action. This machine can haul boats up to 220 feet in length, but we kind of keep it around a 200-foot length just because anything larger than that doesn't necessarily fit well in the Dania cutoff canal. We don't, and that's where the yard is located. If you're familiar with the Port Everglades area, the Dania cutoff canal is just south of Port Everglades, and it gets narrower as you go further inland. And so we're fortunate to be up towards the eastern side of it, where you've got a pretty deep draft, and for the most part, you don't have too many obstructions other than the overhead power lines that are about 140 feet in the air. So you got to be mindful of some sailing yachts that have issues coming into the area. So anyway, this is a large boat that they're probably hauling out. It looks like it just got power washed. You can see the puddle of water underneath it, and it's being surveyed, and you know that it's probably just being assessed for what kind of work needs to be done, and just sort of after that we'll go, our project manager will go back to the scope of work that we estimated and see if there's anything else that needs to be done that gets identified during the survey. Next slide. It's just another beautiful shot of the yard. You know, we got quite a few boats that are stacked in there that are either that have either been worked on in the hard and then can be moved back into the water to be finished off, or are going through some sort of prep to get prepared to get hauled out. That section of dock, we've got probably about 500 feet, so you could fit some large boats in there. Again, just to sort of act as a staging area for boats either coming in or getting ready to take off. Next slide. This is a rendering of the yard that we're currently developing in Fort Pierce. We're extremely excited about this. Jim Dragseth and his presentation before me mentioned some of the accommodations of the area that make this facility quite suitable for working on large boats. He mentioned the deep draft, the no overhead obstructions. We also have a very large turning basin that's just on the eastern side of the port here in Fort Pierce, which allows ample room for turning and positioning as boats are either coming in for service or departing as well. In this picture, in the center, you see the large mobile boat hoist. Again, that's the 1,500-ton machine that's being developed or assembled right here on the yard. And then off to the sides, you see a smaller dry dock and a larger dry dock. Those are currently planned to come into service probably a couple of years from now. This rendering is really sort of like a phase 3 rendering. Right now, we're still working on phase 1, which is developing the haul out slip, where the mobile boat hoist will actually lift boats out of the water, and then putting the utility loop in place to support the work that's going to be done here, as well as refitting the workshop, that large building that's kind of off there in the upper right-hand corner, to accommodate for various trades and you know, really help drive the work that's going to be done here at the yard moving forward. Next slide. This is a very old picture of Fort Pierce Inlet, which ironically enough is going to be celebrating its centennial here in May. So it's just kind of coincidental that the yard here at the port is going to be coming online, and somewhat of a you know, coinciding timeline with the centennial of Fort Pierce Inlet. I just really like this picture, and I think that it really shows that, you know, large boats have been coming here to Fort Pierce for a number of years, and so it's really nothing new to see a large boat here. It's just going to be something new to see these boats getting hauled out and being serviced, and that's going to create a very different dynamic here, because these boats are large cargo freighters, and so they're hauling they could be hauling lumber or citrus or, you know, any kind of other industrial good out of Fort Pierce Inlet. And what we intend to do is help drive a newer industry here with the yachting industry coming in and really supporting trades and support to the global fleet of large yachts. So next slide. This was an aerial photo of the port facility when we first opened it was in November of 2019. The packing house was kind of off to the right there, kind of up where Bio Brothers is. You can see all that congregation of structures there in the upper right-hand corner along Fisherman's Wharf. There's that open area where you just see sort of like a little patch of grass just to the west of that, because you're actually looking east here. That's where the former packing house was. And so this is just a really good shot to show of really the blank slate of what it is we have to work with here. Next slide. This is a picture of a large boat coming in for work. This was the spring of last year. That's a 235, 36 foot boat that came in for a couple of months to receive some work here. Actually, this was right before COVID hit last year that they had come in and got some work done. Next slide. Here's a picture of some sailing yachts that came in for service as well. That catch rig there, the one with the two masts on it, that's closest in the foreground, that mast, the main mast, is 215 feet tall. And so when I mentioned earlier, we have issues down at Dania Beach with a 140-foot air draft. So, you know, you wouldn't think that 140 feet would be a detractor for a boat coming in, because there's not that many boats that have that sort of clearance requirements. But, you know, there are boats out there that circumnavigate the globe. This boat actually was in the Pacific when it contacted us, came through the Panama Canal and came up to our facility to get provisioning and clear customs and get a little bit of work done on their way up to the Northeast last year. Again, this is a kind of boat that we're going to be able to bring in here, and boats like this don't currently have very many options for service work here in the United States. So it's exciting to see us really early in our infancy be able to attract boats with 200-foot tall masts to the area that will eventually be hauled out here for service work. Next slide. You know, Fort Pierce is known as the Sunrise City, and this one is just a really good shot that we got of, again, a large sailing yacht there, moored to the pier, and that boat that we saw earlier, it's there docked for service. Next slide. So here we are today. This is a very early on, or a very current shot of what's going on here. I know folks have seen a lot of activity that's going on if you go over the bridge, and right now the haul out basin is being developed. So this is just a really good shot to show what all that drilling and activity has been out on the end of the pier. Next slide. Again, you can see that activity going on there where the auger cast piles are getting installed, and then you've got the pieces of the large machine that are sort of off in the distance there. Next slide. So this is the machine that we've really been very excited about. It's funny, you know, you look at these drone pictures and it's not really a good representation of scale or size, but this machine is actually quite large. It's going to stand 85 feet tall when it's assembled, and these pieces came over in 3 different shipments from Italy, and everything's here now, and the machine's currently being assembled. Next slide. This picture kind of gives you a little bit of a better definition of what the scale of the machine is. That's going to be the actual footprint of it, where you see each of those wheel sets, the groupings of 8 tires. You know, that's a complete wheel truck once that's assembled, and there'll be one at each corner of the machine. Next slide. And so this is our team getting the machine ready for assembly. we had to use large cranes to lift up these pieces and bolt them together, and then block them, of course, and as we stage and prepare to assemble the machine up higher. Next slide. And here's some of our mechanics working on the hydraulic system, connecting all the hydraulic lines that actually drive each of the straps for hauling of boats. Next slide. And then here's sort of where we start to look at what kind of careers you can expect to have with Derecktor. I mean, I will say that in our business, we work with quite a few subcontractors and different vendors. So, you know, I'm going to really cover sort of the direct trades that we work with when we say we hire folks here, and keeping in mind that there are any number of different subcontractors that can come in and do work. And these guys are all specialized in anything from, you know, carpentry to electronics to interior design work to naval engineering. I mean, it's really a wide swath of industry and employment opportunities. This right here is a gentleman who works down in Dania. He's a fabricator, and he's working on, he's probably working on some sort of pipe to get it either prepped for welding or just kind of finishing off a final you know, pass at it before it gets installed onto a boat. Next slide. So this is our yard crew down in Dania, and all these pictures were taken down in our Dania Beach facility. Again, this is a ship fitter, you know, marine mechanic, a gentleman who works in the yard, and actually there it looks like he's prepping a drive shaft here for final, you know, just final pass, torquing it down before it actually gets dropped back into the water. Next slide. So here we've got a welder that's performing some work on some sort of piece of metal that's going to be installed on a boat. Next slide. Here we've got a pipe fitter fitting some sort of either hydraulic or water. It looks like it's either hydraulic or compressed air line that is going to be inside of a boat, or actually, yeah. So this will be probably going in the engine room of a boat, but you know, all these components kind of come out, they get reworked, refit, and then reinstalled back into the boats once they've been repaired and they meet spec. Next slide. Here's one of our welders / fabricators down in Dania. That's one of the metal brakes that we've got down there that can cut some pretty thick steel plates and aluminum plates and the various different kinds of metals that we use to weld together as we, you know, build structural pieces and re-engineer various components on the boats that we work on. Next slide. And so this is a, you know, a bottom painter / sander. You know, we'll have a crew that comes in and actually goes underneath the boat and sands off whatever, you know, imperfections or paint that are on the bottom of the boat, and then actually prep it for new paint before it goes back into the water as well. And the next slide is the final slide. This is just a, you know, sort of a nice shot of our 900-ton machine down in Dania Beach. So in terms of challenges that we currently face, you know, I echo a lot of the sentiment that some of the other presenters have said. To work in this industry, you really have to have a passion for what it is you do, whether it's a passion for the water or boating, or just having pride in your own craft. If you don't have it, it'll get sniffed out pretty quickly, and you'll become one of those short-term employees that were mentioned before. You know, a lot of the guys that work for our company have worked here for decades. We've actually had a gentleman who retired from our New York yard, and he worked for the company for nearly 52 years. So longevity is something that we really look for when it comes to training employees and bringing somebody on. We do have an apprenticeship program that we currently have down at Dania Beach that we're looking to develop here in Fort Pierce that we've been discussing with Jill and Pete at the EDC, as well as IRSC and Career Source. And you know, we're still early on in getting that off the ground, but you know, really, it's for us, the challenge is finding the folks that are really interested in this career, because having the passion is one thing, but if you're not interested in learning a trade, if you don't like turning wrenches, if you don't like some of the dirty, grimy work that goes along with working in a shipyard or in an industrial facility, it might not be the right career for you, and it's okay. But you know, it's really trying to identify those folks that want to learn, because there are quite a few. Well, you know, we're fortunate at Derecktor to have folks with decades of experience in the industry, and they're all willing to teach it, but they also appreciate their time, and they want to know that the knowledge they're passing on is being received. So again, finding the right individuals that are willing to receive it and willing to learn and be coachable it's critically important for the success of the yard, because then those folks can pass along the trades. Because let's be honest, the trades are not seen as this glamorous career opportunity by a lot of young folks. And so how do we get them excited and engaged about learning all the opportunities that are available when it comes to the marine industry and what's going to be coming down the line? So for us, it's going to be really important to get younger folks excited about learning a trade, whether it's welding or carpentry or plumbing or AC. Really, it starts with learning that skill and beginning to become proficient with it. And then the coaching comes in from taking that next step forward and really becoming on the path to master that skill. And it's a craft, and you got to take pride in what it is you do. And I think you'll find that in our yard and with any other marine industry company out there. There's a lot of pride in what people taking in their work out there. So
that was really informative. Derecktor has so much going on. I'm not sure if anyone really knows how tall those tires are, but drive by there because it kind of looked like it was the size of a car tire. And I assure you, do you know how tall they are? I know they're bigger than me. I'm not very big, but
they're 8.5 feet tall, and there's 32 of them.
Yeah, and just give you a sense of these type of yachts if you've never seen them. I mean, I know some of you have been in the Maverick facility when you're driving down St. Lucie Boulevard. Think about how long that building is, and these boats are longer than that building. So it's quite amazing. Thank you so much. That was really informative. Do we have, I know I saw something in the chat on the PowerPoint. So again, everything is on the website. We do want you to share this with the students. For a company like Derecktor and others, this school district has tremendous programs that can be a pipeline. So it's not only the marine technician program, but you have your manufacturing program on the welding side and the trade skills in that. You have the carpentry program, you have the auto program. There's a lot of programs that you have within the school district that could offer different pipelines to this trade. And we are working on secondary training, secondary education, trying to build it so that students have their first career leg coming out of school, and then they can continue to grow as a tradesman as they move on into the workplace. Does anyone have any questions for Justin today? And I sure do. We'll get a tour next year as soon as it's up and running.
The only other question that's in the chat room currently is how do we contact you? Justin, if you're willing to share your contact information, we'll definitely get it out to the counselors.
Sure. Yeah, that's fine. I'd love to.
Thank you.
Yeah, because you know, as you guys know, we're looking to work with the college and St. Lucie Public Schools on building out these trades programs. As the yard comes online, those opportunities are going to become they'll become more widely available for work here. Jill, you're very well in tune with everything we've got going on. So yeah, we are very excited, and you know we are shooting for that May grand opening. So we'll be sure to key you guys in with more
No,
things. Yeah.
And for students that are coming into the high schools, I know there's a focus of that. The Economic Development Council is a little more hyper-focused on our graduate students, but for those coming into the school district that you're meeting in that 9th grade, 8th, 9th grade, 10th grade, you know, this is a great opportunity too. If they like this industry, I think they like this industry, there's tools to kind of engage them. And, you know, if they can take the program throughout the life of the high school, it may give them a leg up on having some training for when they get out of high school and get into the workplace. So we're trying to hit a lot of different marks within the school district. So we thank you all. We can't thank our industry partners enough. They've been so great and generous with their time today and they put all their own presentations and videos together. So we really appreciate it. It is a lot of time for them. And it's just a great opportunity that we're also able to share it with you, and you can reshare it with your students. As you all know, the precursor to this is the boot camp. So we are really excited. Our goal is to have an in-person boot camp this year. And it will be held the week of, I think, June 7th, right, Alicia and team? I think that was the selected date right now. So we'll be following back up with you on that, getting you the packages. We're hoping that you can use this as a pathway to show the students what we're looking to do. And most of these companies will likely participate in that program. I'm not sure if Derecktor will be on the grid at that point to do that, but we'll keep in touch with them. And as opportunities arise, we will keep you posted. We'd like to make sure everything continues to flow through career and technical education if possible, so that we can kind of keep informed of all of the activities that are going on and making sure that we can all work together in what our businesses need and in education and post-secondary education. So with that, Alicia, I'll hand it over to you and your team, or any counselors or educators. Anybody have any questions, thoughts, anything you want to ask? We're here for you.
Thank you, Jill. I actually am putting for the businesses my email address again. I know we have a Marine Roundtable, but you guys could reach out, contact me. We will help get you set up with the different initiatives. You know, we are looking for virtual field trips, small sessions, any questions that you have regarding the boot camp, just please reach out to me, and then we could just funnel you through and get things situated. Also, counselors, you guys know, always reach out to the CTE team. We are more than glad to facilitate. As Jill mentioned, the boot camp dates, we will be sending out, Lanisha Robinson from the CTE office will be sending out an email, the follow-up survey. Please make sure you guys give us your input, let us know what you think. This is obviously, if you guys were on the fall counselor session, compared to this one, you know, we've made some changes. I'm happy, you know, thank you to the businesses. So she's going to be sending that up, the follow-up for that. Please fill that out. And then in addition to that, I'm just going to reiterate, I will be sending an email. It's going to contain the dates for the boot camp, the link to sign students up if you have them, they're interested, graduating seniors again, that are not, they don't have a job, college career, definite plan. This is a great opportunity for our students, as you guys have heard, and some of you maybe for the first time or multiple times. And then we're also going to, within that email, we'll have the dates. We already have sessions scheduled where Jill Marassa will be joining us, our team, to give you some information and give the students information. So please look out for those emails, share them with your teachers, share them with your students, and then that way we can get a good pool of applicants for all of these jobs that are out there. And again, I just want to thank the counselors and Mr. Fleming, obviously my team. You guys did awesome, and our partners over at the EDC, Jill and Jen, are our MC, our everyday MC. We appreciate you guys so much. So if there's any questions, yes, Jill, Dana Kilberg.
You know, with COVID, a lot of your students that may have graduated a year or two ago may have found themselves in a position that the job that they had or the career that they had or the college that they were going to may not be where they are today. So, you know, if you are staying in touch with those students, if you see their parents, if you see them around and someone's looking, we have a ton of career opportunities and we are trying to fill the jobs. You heard from Maverick, you heard from Shearwater, you heard from Freedom Boat. We have other industries of that maybe, you know, marine isn't it? Maybe it's construction and building. Maybe it's component manufacturing. You know, there are an array of career opportunities in this region and in St. Lucie County. We have employers every single day calling us and looking for talent. So please, if you do have students that were displaced during COVID or are just trying to figure out what on earth they're going to do, give us an opportunity, have them call us. We're happy to talk to anybody and everybody, make introductions, and you know, there's something out there for them here in the community to try. It may not be forever, right? I mean, I don't have the same job that I had when I was 18, nor do the rest of you. So, you know, there's something that they can try if they are dislocated, or if they have a family member as well, where we know that there's a large unemployment rate right now, or just people trying to figure it all out. So we want to make sure everybody has a good job.
Are there any questions from any of the counselors? We appreciate you guys' time. Have a good rest of your day.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good day, everybody.